Hi, my name is Lucy Lewis, and today I'll be presenting my project 2 for my design and manufacturing class. It's titled The Ideal Tablet Stylus, and I'll be submitting it to Dr. Hassan Rashidi for the fall 2024 semester. Disclaimer, this project is a modification of an existing product created solely for the education purposes because it's a part of a class assignment, so this is just for a class assignment. Project description. The goal of this project was to improve the economics, ease of use, and human factors of a project that I frequently use. As an undergraduate student at Georgia Tech, my life revolves around my education, so taking notes is an integral part of my daily activities. I inevitably made the switch to digital note-taking for its convenience, ease of use, and honestly because many other students around me raved about how better it was than the traditional, pencil and paper note-taking. However, to take notes on the iPad, you need an Apple Pencil. Nonetheless, my product of focus is an Apple Pencil, and here's why. iPads are everywhere nowadays, making life on this huge campus so much easier, whether I'm taking notes, sketching, or browsing. The Apple Pencil is sleek, precise, and packed with features like pressure sensitivity and tilt recognition. It even snaps to my iPad, almost perfect. But here's what really bugs me. My handwriting looks totally different on the iPad than it does on paper. And here's a couple reasons for this. It could be because of friction, on paper you get that satisfying resistance, or it could be because of grip and positioning. The Apple Pencil is a little bit too smooth and too round, making it hard to control. And let's not forget the double tapping to erase. Why not just add a button for that? It feels like a secret handshake every time I want to fix something that I've written. So as mentioned in the video, the issue is that I genuinely think that my handwriting on my iPad and on my paper look very different. And as I'm going through my notes on my iPad and, going back to my notes that I used to take on paper, it is indeed very different. And I think the reason for that could be multiple reasons. It could be because of friction, it could be because of the grip, but what I'm focusing on in particular is the gripping of the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil is a little bit too smooth, and it's also a little bit too circular and whatnot than what I'm used to. We're all used to our traditional pencils and even the mechanical pencil that I have in the picture on the left. It's shaped, the outline is like a hexagon, but the Apple Pencil, it doesn't have that hexagon shape. It has one flat surface and the rest is circular. So I feel like because of that, it's harder for me to grip because I'm not used to it. And I shouldn't have to change the way I write because of a stylus. So my improvement concept is to, one, decrease the radius of the pencil. Also, to bring back that hexagonal shape that we have in traditional pencils. And lastly, another issue that I have with the Apple Pencil, or that's something that really bugs me, mind you, I use this every day, is a button. To erase something with the Apple Pencil, you have to double tap, and I feel like it's so inconvenient because you have to double tap on the front where that one flat surface is. And I feel like it would be so much easier if they make a button, and with the hexagonal shape, the button can go anywhere, but I modeled it to be on the front side, like where the Apple logo would typically go. But yes, this is my improvement concept. Here is the CAD of my concept. So as you can see, I have the pencil tip, I have the button to switch between the erasing function, or typically you can change the settings to what you want the double tap feature to do. So similarly, that would be the same with this button, like you can change in settings as to what you would like the feature to be, but it's usually for erasing. Once again, I mentioned that I really wanted to bring back that hexagonal shape because, I didn't know this before. When I was doing research, I realized that the reason why the pencil even has that hexagonal shape was, one, to improve grip, but also to stop pencils from rolling. So you have that two-in-one feature here, although my Apple Pencil doesn't really roll. But like I said, the edges are for gripping. Not after a while, when you're using the Apple Pencil, your hands tend to get very fatigued, and I honestly think it's because it doesn't have these edges, and you have to put more work into gripping to write, and that just shouldn't be the case. So to create my new and improved tablet stylus or new and improved Apple Pencil, to make the hexagonal outer shell, um, we can do plastic injection molding, which is a process that uses a computer to control the movement of machine and choose a shape part or object. And with that, I'd use a hexagonal mold shape because, like I said, the whole idea is that I'm bringing back that hexagonal shape. And I feel like that would genuinely improve my handwriting on my iPad. Or I could use CNC machining, which uses a computer to control the movement of machines. It's like a similar thing as well, but with that I wouldn't need a mold per se as with the plastic injection molding. And of course soldering, laser cutting, and engraving. The soldering and laser cutting is more so for the things inside of the app, like the electronic portions, and then engraving is like for aesthetic purposes, for like the logo and whatnot. So materials, I'll focus on the external part, but I did list the internal, although we only need to put the ones that we are modeling per se. So for the outer hexagonal core, I would use polycarbonate because it doesn't conduct electricity and it's very heat resistant. And like I said before, inside of that there are magnetic strips, there are batteries, there's a Bluetooth, there's so many sensors inside of the Apple Pencil that we as a consumer don't see. And then for the tip, I would use nylon because it's synthetic plastic, and the reason why we use plastic for the tip is because typically users switch out the tips because they do get run down a lot. Like after a couple months you have to switch out your tip. So to basically reduce the cost for your users, I would use nylon for the tip. And I'm also pretty sure this is what Apple already uses, something close to this, but this is what I would use for my tablet stylus. So some advantages and disadvantages. One, you get your enhanced grip. Also, there's a dedicated erase button. I don't have to like double tap to erase, and also just better ergonomics as a whole. Some disadvantages, it could still be bulky because the hexagonal shape, there's more edges, and of course there's that added complexity when it comes to manufacturing. More features equals increased costs, but overall I feel like changing the shape and making a dedicated erase button enhances comfort, usability, versatility, and makes my tablet style been so much more intuitive and efficient for everyday users like myself. And here are my resources, and thank you so much for listening.